Thank you, Dr. O'Donnell. And if anyone knows Kay, when she gets excited, she's like, ooh, President. Definitely say it that way. And after all, partners in crime with Dr. O'Donnell, it's his rubber stamp signature that's always on our paycheck. So I did see some signs that the President's wife is going to be doing poetry readings, and the sign, I guess the students called her the First Lady of Manhattan. So send my apologies to your wife, Dr. O'Donnell, because Kay Hennessy has always been dubbed the First Lady of Manhattan. I really wanted to just tell a little story about how I met Kay. I've known Kay a pretty long time, not as long as Richie. Richie's as ancient as the stones of the building. I met Kay about 17 years ago in 1992 as a freshman student worker at work study in the controller's office. And right from the first day, I heard the staff referring to her as Grandma. So I had that brief, naive moment, and I was, looking, except that the staff member was very dark-haired and, olive-skinned. I'm like, that's not really your grandma, right? So I'm pretty sure right now we have Kay up in lights, but we do often refer to Kay as Grandma, and you yourselves will know the first time you've heard that used, how easy it is to just use that term of endearment with someone who's not blood-related to you, but it's very easy with Kay. Mikey was a young baby at the time when I started the controller's office, so that's where Grandma really began. And hearing Kay over the phone singing what was very dreadful Barney songs at the time. Barney was at his heyday back in those early 90s. Between that and the chase to find the Tickle Me Elmo, and then later on going to baseball games. So we've lived a lot of what Grandma really is through Mikey. So the best of luck to Mikey too as he approaches another milestone in his life in choosing a college. Go Jaspers. When Dr. O'Donnell agreed to speak, which we're so grateful for, he did say, well, I'm counting on you at least to dish out some dirt. But it's Grandma. There is no dirt. There really is Grandma. What I have been amazed at, though, is that through the years, and coming from the controller's office, which we have some original members here, thank you for coming. The old controller's office, and sometimes now the new one, has always been a rowdy bunch. So right from when I was a student worker, I'm like, well, how can this woman remain so angelic amongst all the mischief that goes on in the office? But the only thing Kay's been guilty of is laughing along with us. So between my rants and all of my imitations, between Joanne's witty comebacks and all of Margaret's pranks and Pat Stone telling jokes but keeping that straight stone face which she keeps so well, you can see how we've developed a tight bond with Kay over the years. But my father always used to say, if you're really laughing that hard, you can't really be that innocent. And he used to say that often as he scolded us, so that's dirt enough for you. I'm pretty sure if everyone in the room can think back to the first time that they've talked with Kay, especially in person, you can really see how she treats you. She looks you straight in the eye, at your level, treats you as an equal, and really listens to what you need, what you want, and she's always at service to help you. She's so empathetic and so giving. Her eyes twinkle, and her laugh is very contagious, and she's always caught smiling in a very positive mood. Even today, as it snowed, I woke up, and my reaction, of course, today, wanting the party to go so well, I was like, crap, snow. I want a nice sunny day, and I did pray, and the sun came out later. And I know others maybe saw the snow today and they might think, snow, 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 maybe we'll have a snow day after all. But if I know Kay the way I do, I bet you she woke up this morning and looked and she would say, snow. And every living moment of Kay's life is that way, of looking at something as if it's the first time and really appreciating, the simple things in life. And she would walk around and then tell everyone it's snowing, as if she was telling us the sky is falling. And then all of a sudden you see that pet pick up, in her walk, and she's just always so positive, and that's been a great thing for us at Manhattan College over the years. I believe, all your work ethic, obviously the controller's office can speak on that, but Kay, as Dr. O'Donnell mentioned, is a huge Jasper fan. Obviously she has some alums in her family, Mikey. Coming up next. She's also a Yankee fan. As you see, the security officers presented her with a Yankee jersey with her name on it. Kay has also coordinated some retreats at the Spelman Retreat House, Cardinal Spelman Retreat House, and recruited me from way back when. I think I've been going on retreat now since 1995. So she definitely brings in that spiritual connection that's so important, for our community. She was also dubbed the volunteer fire warden for Miguel Corp. Fred Overing is here, and when Fred was in physical plan, he came around and gave her, and assigned one person in each building a hat. And Kay wore that with pride. And as Fred said back then, after all, especially walking through the controller's office at the time, that Kay is probably the only person he would trust to make sure that everybody got out of the building. But, over the years, we've also gone to dinner theaters, and you see what we try to theme as much as we can today is, that theme of a Broadway show, the lights, the action, the thrill, and that's the way Kay treated every day, but just also to have witnessed her buzzing around New York City and going from show to the zoo and just enjoying life has been such a treat for me, even just living through her. But she sacrificed so much over the years, never missed a payroll, and even has come in during blizzards and storms, and even in times of, loss and personal tragedies, transportation strikes, I'm guessing too, before my time, no? And who knows what she was thinking and why Y2K happened. I mean, I know I wasn't worried about getting a check because Kay's so reliable, and any grandma would be that trustworthy, but I imagine if you were up that night right before Y2K, you might have been thinking, oh, I might as well have to fill out checks by hand. But I trusted you to come up with some way to make it happen. As any grandma, she's definitely sweet and caring. And although a simple woman, she is very robust. We even took a Tai Chi class together, okay, if you remember way back when. Also thinking of the times and the look in her eyes of excitement when she shops at Macy's. She always talks about Macy's and Herald Square. But Kay knows everyone, and everyone knows Kay. But the one thing that strikes most important to me is that the look in her eye and the sound in her voice, and when she speaks in awe of the education that goes on this campus. And she's always been a supporter of anyone around her who's been taking classes and dealing with the faculty and the students. She's always been connected to everyone through that paycheck. And she knows all our employees by name, just as our faculty know our students by name, but also by their aspirations. And that's also one thing I think everyone can attest to, that if something was wrong, you could find yourself telling Kay, and she'd always have the words of encouragement. She glorifies the value of LaSallian education here, and she's been rooting for anyone who's been lucky enough to study inside these classrooms. So she does wear that Manhattan College sweatshirt with pride. Okay, I do want to present one small thing from me to you. You don't have your degree from Manhattan College, and you've always been a fun, whimsical person to me. So when I saw this Dr. Seuss, all the places you'll go graduation cap, I definitely thought of you. But Kay knows I'm not mushy, as I said. She's almost gotten in trouble a few times from laughing at my jokes. So I just found this lollipop that said "work sucks," and we've also been there at that moment. So I'll give you that later. But Kay definitely does know the value of true work, hard work, and true friendship. You're more than connected to everyone here, by paycheck. Although it definitely doesn't come in handy to have a paycheck. But here's to hoping that all the good spirit you've given us these years comes back to you tenfold as you retire. How lucky we are to have had the presence of a grandmother figure, and one who's also been so charismatic in life and in faith. And you've been a guardian angel, so please never leave our shoulders.